What is up, y'all, and how is everybody doing today? It is your boy Mashuu, and it's another Here's the Thing. So, good morning, afternoon, evening to all y'all out there in the chat, y'all YouTube chat, and Twitch chat, and the like, and whoever else is restreaming. What is up, guys? Thank you for staying around as we go on for today. You guys know what it is, how it usually goes, but first things first. It's all about that code, am I right, y'all? All right, so you guys can use the exclamation point code in the chat. Go ahead and get your 3 leaves and 300k gold by inputting that in the mailbox the box that we gave in your mailbox. It's a password to that box, but yeah, 3 leaves and 300k gold, not 300k leaves. Granted, I know there was a little mess earlier for that, so don't worry about that, guys. But yeah, and sorry for those guys who were here earlier. The stream did crash a bit. My internet went wonky for like a minute or so, and I was like, what the heck is happening? But luckily, we all good now. And if you guys are wondering what the passcode, it is Daltoki, and I believe that's moon bunny in Korean. And as for why that is, you'll have to wait and see as we move on forward, okay, y'all? So here we go. And for today's update summary, we have the new episode 4, Chapter 8, East Prairie. The new hero, Moon Bunny Dominion, so Daltoki Dominion. And then Ancient Inheritance Season 3 is coming out as well, guys. Alongside what you guys have already speculated. Granted, one little change that we did make and just announced as well, you guys can see it on Sova already, I believe, and that is the change to Urvalent, but also alongside all the other August balance adjustments. Alright, guys? So, first up, moving on to episode 4, we have episode 4, Chapter 8, East Prairie. So after Arunka receives news of Pera's advance to the south, she expects Pera to start attacking through East Prairie, where her supporters are. Arunka begins her moves to negotiate with Pera and prevent the war. Meanwhile, Yoha and Ross, who expected that Lua was looking for the Autumn Sword, are also heading to the East Prairie. And you guys already know what else is unlocked with the East Prairie. A new chapter means more story for you guys, alongside some more extra rewards through these side quests and the like, and the little shop that's in there as well. So more catalysts being able to be farmed around there, alongside some gold transmits, molas, and yeah. But moving forward from here, we have the new hero, the new 4-star. I know some people were speculating if it was still going to be a 4-star or a 5-star, but it is in fact a 4-star new hero, Moon Bunny Dominion, a light Taurus Soul Weaver, guys. And here is her preview.
What do you want? Silk clothes made by a fairy? Maybe a coral accessory from the underwater palace. If that's not it, are you here for my liver? Let me see how lucky you really are. You weren't that bad. Why don't you try harder?
Moon Bunny Dominiel is the master of the moonlit night of the eastern continent. Though she may look like normal rabbit Suin, she's actually a descendant of the Moon Bunny tribe, who are thought to have long disappeared from Orbis. She's a fortune teller who has the ability to divine the future. The Moon Bunny tribe foresaw that the moonlight would soon disappear. To stop that from happening, Moon Bunny Dominiel came down to Orbis and is searching for the legendary moonlight-infused gem. Moon Bunny Dominiel is a 4-star light elemental soul weaver. She has high speed and effect resistance. She can increase her allies' attack through her imprint release, or increase her health through her imprint concentration. Skill 2, Flow Control. Increases effect resistance by 20%. At the start of an enemy's extra turn, grants immunity and a barrier to all allies for 2 turns. Barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's max health. Immunity and barrier effects can only be activated once every 2 turns, and only activates when the enemy is a hero. Skill 3, Divination. In accordance with the divinations, increase attack of all allies for 2 turns, and combat readiness by 20%. Grants skill nullifier once to the caster. Skill 1, Moonlight Wave. Attacks the enemy with an ethereal moonlight wave, and has up to a 60% chance to put them to sleep for 1 turn. This skill does not trigger a dual attack. When 10 soul is consumed, increases the effect chance to 100%.
Let me.
A leader of a gigantic merchant guild who has the gift of divining the future. Players will be able to meet Moon Bunny Dominiel starting August 11th. Thank you.
And there you guys have it. This is Moon Bunny Dominiel. Look how cute she is. Oh my god. Look, her and her little bunny rabbit ears and everything and the like now. But yeah, punishing, being able to punish those extra turns on that end. Pretty interesting overall kit. And the stats is where I'd have to say are by far kind of nutty. Right here you see her attack. Yeah, sure. Her health is 4.5k, and her speed is 114. She's 114 Soul Weaver, and with that, you guys already know how Frenzy is currently. That means she is going to be zoom in up in here for sure. Lots of FRS for her due to her passive though. And moving on here, we do have the first skill, Moonlight Wave. In this case, it's just a chance to sleep. At most, I believe it's 60% and then 100% with Soul Burn. Doesn't trigger dual attacks, so it's just for sleep, guys. Whereas the flow control, I believe is her biggest caveat in this case that people are going to look for. Increases her FRES by 20, so she already has 30, and then she gets an additional 20 on top of that. At the start of the enemy's extra turn, so that means RNLs, things granting an extra turn, soul burns and the like, anything that grants an extra turn, grants immunity and a barrier for all allies for 2 turns. And this is all increased due to caster's health. Immunity and barrier effects can only be activated once every 2 turns. That means she'll turn cycle it after 2, and then she could end up using this again if anyone has an extra turn after that. From here, though, we then have Divination. Alright, so in accordance with the divinations, increases attack of all allies for 2 turns and combat readiness by 20% at max Mola. Now, this is at a 3-turn cooldown with Molas as well, and it grants skill null to the caster, meaning that once they take their turn, they're going to get another turn, hopefully without exploding. And then the turn after she takes a regular S1, she'll already have her S2 passive back up again. Pretty nice in this aspect. And she's fast. She's 114 plus the extra 7 that you get from Frenzy if you are using her in PvP, which means she's 121 in PvP. And yeah, and she's a Soul Weaver. She has also a lot of Soul Weaver items to look at as well. So, what does this mean? Pretty nutty unit overall, pretty fast as well. Unlike her counterparts where she's kind of pushing up after getting activated, she's kind of the activator herself in this case, where she's able to just S3, pretty much activate all her allies for those guys who are wondering, but yeah. And guys, yeah, that is Moon Bunny Dominiel in this case, guys. And now moving on. The Ancient Inheritance, guys. So, Ancient Inheritance is coming out next week, or I believe that's Monday. Let me just check the calendar. Am I going crazy? But yeah, that is in fact next Monday in this case, guys. So, next, well, it just says Monday there. I should just read. But yeah, next Monday. And as for the items that will be obtained from this, you guys are able to see that on Stove and the rest of the details. I believe there is some quality of life exchanges also within there, in which you're kind of able to zoom in, zoom out from the map as well. Things like your map memos, you can actually tap a memo icon on the map and add in some memos on there for your guildmates. And yeah. And as well as a ranking board reward improvement on top of that. For more on what you guys want to see, that stuff is on the Stove notice. So make sure to check out Stove for that stuff. But yeah. Now moving on along, we do have the August balance adjustments. Now I know some of you guys already saw the preview that happened on 7/22. We do have one change in this case in the fact that Ervalen is going to be changed. I'll go over it when I get to that slide. But yeah, if you guys do want to see the changes that are happening to him right away, you can check Stove as well for that. Yeah, so the heroes we have in this case are Flitica, Hufine, Ervalen, Senya, Great Chief Kawana, Ricarus, Captain Ricarus, obviously, Yunryang, and ROL. And alongside the artifacts with Alencinox's Wrath getting changed in this case. So not just her counterpart, her hero, was changed in the last update, but now her artifact. Excuse me. And then also the 5-star double-edged decrescent, which is Ervalen's artifact in this case. So, moving on along, we have Faithful Slitka's Skill 2 Larkspur. A critical hit will dispel one additional buff and increases the increase to all others' allies' combat readiness is now removed in this case, but the damage dealt goes up. And now the actual combat readiness increases on now her skill 3. So in this case, increases combat readiness of all allies by 25% now. Interesting to see. I remember I used to use Flitica quite a bit. Maybe I'll bring her out just for more speed contests. Granted, there is a lot more speed contests in this case now nowadays. But yeah, now Holiday Fiend, the damage dealt increase for her S1, and this is due to the fact that she does not grant greater attack or gab buff from her skill 3 anymore, and now it's just an AoE for all of the other allies. And the evasion now is upped in this case, and then provided that it's more consistent evasion, 35% being a lot larger than anyone else can have, alongside her regular evasion when she has max health. Run her with that guide, you get a little more evasion on that end. But yeah, pretty fun. Now moving on to Ervalen. So the big change in this case was a skill 3, but we'll go over skill 2 first. Soul Burn effect change in this case, in which Soul Burns is now a damage dealt increase from a skill 2. And the skill 3, it extends the duration of buffs granted by hero to the throne by 1 turn and grants an extra turn. Damage dealt increases proportional to the difference of max health from 60% to 70% in this case, so it's a little bit different compared to what it used to be. And I know a lot of people were wondering in regards to the changes prior, and this is the change that ended up happening in this case. And yeah, moving along to Senya, you guys see her changes here. I won't dwell too much longer on it. You guys already know what it is. I believe everyone knows. Creates a battlefield change. In this case, it grants a bear effect. And now her skill 3 ends up being able to provoke. Yeah. And moving on, her exclusive equipment in this case also has changed. So option 2 has changed into increase grace barrier strength by 20%. So more barrier on top for Senya. And then the option 3 now grants increased attack or gab to the caster for 3 turns after using Dragon Slayer's Strike. And yeah. Now moving on to Great Chief Kawana. Skill 2 got changed. Just a small buff in this case, in which it increases the attack of the caster from 15 to 25%, but it only can stack up to 3 times now. It's a little bit different, but able to get that a lot faster than it did before. Moving on to Ricarus. You guys want to see his changes right here. Skill effect change. Damage dealt, but I mean, it's going to change obviously with Ricarus. And you see his changes here as well. Health rune being lowered or changed to the attack in this case. And now mineral rune changed to crit chance. So a little more on the attacking side as well. Granted, Captain Ricorous. I wonder if anyone is ever going to use him. I haven't seen him in quite some time. And here are more of the rune effects, which you guys can also see on the stove oath. Here we go. And Yunryung. So the increased speed now on her skill 3 has been changed, and it adds increased attack for 2 turns and decrease debuff durations by 1 turn. So a little partial cleanse in this case, granted, unless you have bombs on, then it will activate those bombs more than likely. So the biggest change in this, not the damage dealt from this point, but I believe she gains escort now. Yes, so at the start of the turn, at the end of the turn, grants escort to the caster for 1 turn after an ally except for the caster suffers a single target attack. Increase combat readiness by the caster by 10%. So being able to have escort makes her now, or makes Para now, not the only unit that has escort. I know people were talking about it before, and I was just like, oh, yeah, this unit has escort now. But Alenson Nox's Wrath being a kind of different change in this case, increases crit hit chance by 15% after activating an extra attack on the caster's turn, and increase combat readiness now as well on that end. And then Double Edge Decrescent increases evasion by 20% after evading has another counter attack. Now, done with all the balance stuff that you guys are talking about already, or have seen from the other past influencers who have been here as well. But yeah, all that balance stuff, you guys can check it out on Stove, alongside the changes to our Valen for that matter. And now you're going to go into the banners that will be happening tomorrow after the change, or well, technically today, after the patch has been completed, after maintenance. And we see Flan with Unseen Observer. So if you guys don't have Flan already, or you want to scale up your Captain Flan, you guys are able to do so by grabbing it right here. And then we do have the drop rate up for Bologna next week with Iron Fan. Bologna being pretty nice imprint for SSB. And yeah. Alongside that, the other drop rate up banner that we have for next week as well is Roana with Touch of Rekos. Two pretty good, a pretty good pair in this case. So Artifact and both Hero as well, just to help alongside all those extra attacks that are coming along. A little bit of healing, and Touch of Rekos is indeed a very good artifact. So we have the Mystic Summon rotation, which is going to be out next week after, or at 3. UTC that you see right here, and it includes FCC, SBA, and DJB. Now FCC being a big key matter in this fact, because if you guys are new, FCC's a pretty stable pick and has been ever since the first season. Ever since she got released, it's always been good, honestly. And yeah, DJB is pretty good in this case too as well. SBA, I mean, if you like SBA, you can use her as well. I do see some cheesy builds with her. Hopefully you don't get 15% granted. So good luck on that end. And last but not least, we do have alongside that banner or Mystic Summon rotation, the new 4-star that is coming out in this case, which is Moon Bunny Dominion, guys. So make sure to pick her up. She seems like a pretty decent pick overall, and I want to see a lot of people using her. All those triple CDOM users, right? Any triple CDOM users in chat? Or original CDOM? No? No? I'm super down to use it, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys for coming to another Here's the Thing. We'll be going live again this weekend, and alongside on Thursday with Jenna and Kana, so make sure to check that out. We have a little sneak preview for some stuff, you know, who knows, maybe. But yeah, or pretty much going over what happened in the recents for E7WC. We have the weekend, going to bring us some more stuff for E7WC as well. And then, yeah, other than that, I will see you guys next time on Thursday if you guys are there. Or I will see you at the next patch preview, or Here's the Thing, guys. Other than that, thank you guys once again for your time. And it's your boy Mashuu signing out. Peace.